think that'll work. Oh, right. We are on. We got light, lo and behold. So tonight I got the laptop out. We're going to try to do these videos, I promise. So video number 1, this is video number 2 for a bunch of CDs I picked up at a church lawn sale. Actually, it works great when you have family members are a part of it. So keep it back up here. So I'm on the phone. So initially I have a bunch of videos already made up. One of them was onto GoPro, and I threw it on my laptop and ran out of hard drive space, try to process it through. So it was in process as I'm trying to get rid of stuff, and finally got like a couple projects there that I gotta go through and try to upload. So I mean, I'm listening to these CDs every day at work when I'm, fiddling around with parts. So yeah, I gotta start putting away some of these things and get some dispositions going. So we're gonna try this out. So we're on the phone. We got the light, the camera light on. So we're gonna try. This is gonna be in order of how I listen to them. I think that's how it is. Okay, first one. Whoops, 2 CD classic treasures. Classical favorites. So we open her up and it's a bifold. So we got a disc 1, disc 2. Cool. So this is classical CD. Whoops. So this is a Soma brand. So this actually, I think this is from Walmart. This one is in. This is done with a lot of Eastern European orchestras. These, radio orchestras and have not. Good sounding. Try to remember anything interesting out of it. I think some of it, I know Brandon Concerto was a little slow, I think. I know that Edvard Grieg morning thing, it was slow too. I just say this is one of these budget lines, so it is not definite. It's decent quality. Sound on some, you could hear the hissing in the back, so it's a variety. It's supposed to be digitally recorded, but sometimes it's transferred over from analog to digital, and this was done in the last say late 90s. When the 90s when Europe was Eastern Europe was opened and they needed money. A lot of these orchestras needed money because of change in times, fall of Berlin Wall, other Soviet things. So yeah, I mean, it's all done. I think instrumental arrangements were all great. Nice sound. This is just a basic CD everyone has. So it'll go into collection because it has a lot of pot commons on there. Okay, now this one. This is Christmas favorites. This is Thomas Kincaid theme CD, and we got like that. So I look at the back side of it. It's performed by the 101 String Orchestra. So this is probably a remake of a remake of a remake. So yeah, this is probably going to go into the thing, but this is a repackaged 101 Strings Orchestra disc. It's not nothing too outrageous. It's going to go into the Christmas collection. Probably going to fire it up and see what era. Oh, good Lord. What era? 101 Strings it is. So next one is local flavor for upstate New York. Oh, we got David Kane Quartet. The Life and Times of Guy Friday as the disc. And its back has all these funny titles onto it. If I open it up here, we're doing all this one-handed. So there's like a comic book thing going on. This is a comic book, part of it. And here's the thing about it. The comic book doesn't match the music. The story in the comic book doesn't match the music. But it's sort of interesting that these are all instrumentals. The ones I would, we're going to try to get the light off of this somehow, some way, but I don't think I could do that. Oh, maybe we'll do it up there for now, but we'll drop it down here. We got Intro, Funkaholic, just some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is making reference into the comic, but it's not part of the comic. The guys are talented. Musicianship is good, but it's all instrumental. There's no vocals, which is good. They're going through different styles. I don't think there was anything. It is copying. There's a lot of, I say they're highly influenced copying styles and everything. Intro is just a bunch of sound effects of a guy going through a radio station thing, which is kind of cool. For I think this is 2001. It's pretty advanced at the time. I mean, we're starting to get into more digital recording. That's kind of fun. Funkaholic was them doing sort of like a funk music. I was trying to remember what kind of funk music it was, but it was pretty good. I think the best song is kind of Want to Make You Wanda. It really didn't follow anything that was going on. And it's sort of this dysfunctionist about this record. As I said, the gentleman knew how to play the instruments well. Musicianship is very good. Mixing's good. Saying it just themes and just lack of just congruent. I mean, it's like a show off of, hey, we could know how to do all this stuff. And I kind of Makes You Wanda is the only one that doesn't follow like it was copying off of something. Just trying to remember what. See, Funkaholic was them trying to do like a funky sort of sound. It was Steely Dan, that's right. So 2-3 was Steely Dan. It was Steely Dan-esque in 4, but it was I think is their best track is that. So they're trying to be Steely Dan on 2 and 3 around Asia time, this high class sort of thing. But it was falling flat because musically it sounded right, but music intelligence-wise, the IQ of the music, it was a lot less than desirable. And it wasn't like anything really interesting. It was more like it was making, just like it was like copying Steely Dan. It really didn't come off as an original, hey, let's try to do Steely Dan, but, make it our own. It was more like, hey, we're just doing a tribute to Steely Dan. And again, I think the music IQ, I thought it could have been better. Yeah, I think it was a stretch for these guys to try to do anything Steely Dan. Okay, so 5 was Chromatos, which is literally a fair ripoff of Edgar Winter Group Frankenstein. It was their take on Frankenstein. It was very, very predictable. I mean, if you know the song Frankenstein, it just didn't have the sax solo. And it was done well, and it was not original. I mean, it's like automatically you knew what part of the next part of the song was, because if you knew the arrangement of Frankenstein by Edgar Winter Group, it'll be hard to not pick out, oh, they're going to go to this way, this is how it is. And, it's disappointing because it's like these guys are more talented than this. It was laziness. I mean, it almost sounds like it was lazy. And Spy vs. Guys, their take on spy thriller of the time. They're doing a spy thing, and it's like, okay, I mean, it's predictable. I mean, it's just, jangling guitars. Then they got Dancing Chic and Dancing Chic to Chic. That is them doing Pink Floyd. It sounded like Pink Floyd, and it had a Pink Floyd-esque thing to it, and it's like, okay, yeah, it felt hollow. It just, again, these guys are very talented. They went into doing like sound likes, copying and yeah, these guys could do a hell lot better than this. This is my opinion on this. So 6 Foot Pole was interesting. I couldn't remember what was the style. I mean, these were all just different styles. Thunderbeard Revisited. I remember it was like, oh, okay. I remember this. So retractable claws, Thunderbeard Revisited, and Elvisator. A visitor. You would figure a visitor was going to be Elvis. No. It's like they decided the 3 songs, Ain't Jenna Pussy. They decide in a 6-foot pole. Okay, 6-foot pole. I remember these guys were trying to do the best on all these. The last five songs, 4 songs. I think they're doing their best Beatles impersonation, and it's like, again, it was nothing original or anything. And Elvis Vader, it had sort of Elvis to it, but it was more George Harrison, John Lennon sort of sound. And yeah, 6-foot pole was their take on to Abbey Road. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was, all this stuff is listenable. It's just that you've heard it before. I mean, it's nothing fantastic. I mean, you've just, all this stuff is, you get it where you hit it if you hear a certain, bunch of key changes and chord changes, and all of a sudden it's like, okay. And 6-foot pole was their take on Come Together. I mean, it's, you hear Come Together and something, and it really left a lot less desirable, because you sort of knew where the song was going. And again, and the outro is nothing. It's like 30 seconds, and it's just this guy going on. And this was a concept record, and it never really went anywhere. I mean, this was odd. I mean, actually, again, these guys were really talented. I just don't know why they went this way. I mean, this record did not make any sense outside their copying their heroes. I mean, which is fine. I mean, hero worship's great, but it was just pretty obvious. So this is just locally produced, and it's a fine CD. You can listen to it, not a problem. Okay, this one, I think this one is Alien Ant Farm. And if I look it is Alien Ant Farm. Okay, so this is Alien Ant Farm, and it's these gentlemen right here. They did a remake of Smooth Criminal. That was the Micheal Jackson song, and it took off on what was it called? Total a thing with Daly before it became huge. Oh, on MTV. Total Countdown Recall or something like that, which is a big show back when I was in college. So they actually did Smooth Criminal. It's okay. I mean, it's an updated version of it. Micheal Jackson's far superior. They did a good job with it. Very talented guys. They got into some more of the action movies towards it's later 2000s. They were Southern California. I mean, it's good music. It's pretty basic at the time. This alt rock sort of thing. This would be college music and everything. It was listenable. Universe went on. There's a hidden track after Universe, which is kind of interesting. It didn't go. I mean, really, it didn't go anywhere. It was stop, start for like 3 minutes, and it was just like an incomplete idea. It was a lost opportunity. If it was actually a great hidden track and it would something substantial, it would have been sort of like this is sort of interesting, sort of surprise to it. But really, it didn't do anything. And again, it was a stop and start. It was hem and hawing, and never really got going lyrically. It never got going musically. Again, this is pretty straightforward rock and roll at this time. So, Alien Ant Farm, this was it the Ant-hology? Yeah, the Ant-hology. So, this is actually pretty good to say. This is maybe, I think if this was in good shape, I gotta check it out real quick. It's going to go up onto, some scratches onto it. I'm probably just going to put it up on, I could still, put it on, oh, good Lord. It's late. I've been sick all week, and so give me a break here if I'm stumbling here. Onto Discogs. I mean, I think I could get this on Discogs, fairly good. I could do like, and again, this is something I'm not really interested in, but it was part of the deal along with some other stuff. So that is one of the things. So I think you got 2 of them going to Discogs. I think the David thing, the Christmas CD I'm keeping. I haven't listened to it, but it's 101 strings. I got a few 101 strings at the house, so not a big deal. So again, this is video number 2, and I'll get out the other ones, and I'll probably put out new intros or something into it or something like that. So so far I've gone through almost all the CDs. I've been trying to do it as I go along, but I'm busy with some other some other stuff. So it's been kind of hard. But now I could go and try to get these put away and try to get them on for sale. So, I mean, hey, if you like videos like this where I do CD reviews or something in that nature, like and subscribe. Try to do some in the future because, I actually enjoyed watching stuff like that on YouTube. So I'm just doing all sorts of YouTube stuff I like to do and taking my own twist onto it. So, again, we're 4 CDs in. Of course, the first CD video, I think, had 30 CDs I reviewed onto it. But, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, again, like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching this and enjoy the rest of your day.